What's up, everybody? YouTube viewership, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter. What's up, everybody? My name is Wally. This is Dissconnectt, aka Sean, aka Dissconnectt. Welcome to the Dissconnectt the Wally Show. So, we started our venture into the podcast realm last week for our first ever podcast. I mean, the numbers aren't great. They're actually horrible. But like we said in the first video that we're starting from the gutter. We're starting from the basement. And we're going to try to build this thing into something that we could maybe make a career out of. You know, maybe we can do YouTube. Maybe we can get on a radio station somewhere. But, you know, our first video didn't bomb. We got some views.
Yeah, but I was just about to touch on that, actually. When I first started doing music, I would struggle to get my views to get to 50.
You do music?
And then, well, yeah, we'll get into that. Anybody that has known me, that sees me on here, is going to know that I did music. But what I was going to say was sometimes, I'm not even going to lie, I've struggled for 50 views. Then when I put my first official music video out, I have well over 1,000 on that within the first week.
Right.
When I did my heroin epidemic video, I got over 2,000 in a week. So maybe it'll come with time, maybe it won't. But this is something we're trying. It's free to do it.
Absolutely.
Might as well, you know.
And with it being free to do, you know, once we reach the masses, if you will, we can make a little coin off of it, but we're kind of doing it and starting it off as a hobby just to get some laughs, get some content out to people, and who knows? But closed mouths don't get fed.
And closed mouths don't get fed.
Right? So who's to say this bombs or who's to say this turns into something?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you don't have to go to college now to be wealthy and do something with purpose. The internet allows you there's so many avenues to travel that you're foolish not to give it a try. It just like, why not?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I got $20-something once from YouTube.
Yeah,
literally $20-something. But thank you, YouTube.
But you were doing something that you love to do.
Yeah, true. I mean, I made way more money off of my shows at that time.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, of course.
But the content that you put out, it was something that you love to do. Like me personally, I wouldn't mind getting into something comedic. I think I have a pretty decent funny bone. I think I have the ability to make people laugh. Mm-hmm. I've actually even looked into the like stand-up comedy avenue. Yeah. And I've slowly but surely.
That's a hard job, by the way.
Don't get me wrong.
That's tough.
There's nothing easy about that. There's
no rehearsing.
You could get booed out of the fucking building. But I think that I have a decent enough funny bone where I could give it a shot.
Yeah.
You know, how do you know if something's not going to work if you don't try?
You can't.
And a big reason that I'm trying this podcast is to show my kids that if you try enough things that you have passion about, you could do something that's meaningful that can make you happy. Like, you don't have to go to college and get a degree and get a job where you're sitting somewhere and you fucking hate it. You don't have to do that anymore.
I never went to college, and I have a job that I actually enjoy doing where I make more than almost everybody I know that went to college.
Right.
And I'm now 30 years old. So
right.
If you don't like it, if you don't like the job that you have, then what do you do it for?
Right. Speaking of working and loving what you love to do and loving what you do, this was a topic that I brought up over by where I live in the area that I live. You know, I have a bunch of friends by where I live. Most of them females, all my wife's friends. And I found out, actually, from you last week, before the show started, that Sin and Joe Budden are no longer together.
Right.
And reason being is because Sin said that the man works too much.
He's bringing in those M's, man.
Listen to me. He's bringing in M's.
Leave him alone.
M's.
I mean, he did a $5 million deal with Diddy at Revolt. He, over his touring, podcast, all the views, YouTube, Spotify, listenership, YouTube viewership,
Right.
his tour.
Right.
He brought in 5 M's on that alone in 2018.
Right.
The guy
Listen.
is more successful now than he's ever been his entire music career. And in my opinion, this is something we're going to end up disagreeing on. In my opinion, as far as content and notable quotables, Joe Budden's the best hip-hop artist ever. But I'll leave that alone. He's more successful now.
I just threw up in my mouth.
Hey, listen, man. He's more. That's opinion, by the way, of course. He's more successful now, though, than he. Hey, man. Whatever. He's more successful now than he has ever been in his entire musical career, which started and it didn't.
And that's
start,
a quote.
And it didn't.
And that's a quote. He knows that.
Yeah. Of course, he knows he's successful now.
If anybody listens to the Joe Budden podcast, he actually says that he's more successful now than he's ever been in his entire career. Between music, TV, anything.
That's another thing. That, not to cut you off, but that fucking mansion he bought in fucking wherever the fuck it is.
Jersey, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I forgot the town now. Doesn't matter. Makes no difference. I think it was Tenafly, actually. But anyway, that mansion came from the money he made on Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
Not his record sales.
No.
And at that time, when he went back onto Love and Hip Hop with Tahiri and all that, he was actually on Shady's record label.
Yes.
Doing cyphers on BET with Eminem.
Yes.
So if that's not popping, he chose a different avenue. He signed a Revolt deal with Diddy.
Yeah.
Which Diddy's the best marketing man in hip hop aside from Jay-Z. Both them are like neck and neck.
Right.
Maybe Master P if you go back in the day and you know who that is.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, he's successful and she wasn't getting enough attention. You got to remember, too, the man's almost 40 where she's closer to 20 than she is 30.
Right.
Or she just turned 26, so maybe I'm off on that. I don't remember Sin's age.
Either way, bro.
She's young. She wants the attention, though. That's what I'm saying.
Either way, all of you females say, I want a man
That takes
that's
care of
gonna
me
love
and
me
works.
and take care of me and has a good job and all that shit. And then you got bitches like this who makes her own millions. Let's not forget this.
Hundreds of thousands.
Bro.
She don't touch M's.
Bro, her Instagram alone, she's bringing M's. I'm sorry.
Okay, because of Joe Budden, because here he is again making another bitch famous.
Irregardless, she's still making her own M's. You guys could not work another day in your lives and your children's children would be straight. But this guy's out, just like Steve Harvey. I'm a huge Steve Harvey fan. Even though the race situation with him,
I like him too.
I like Steve Harvey a lot. Him and his wife have an understanding. He's almost 60 years old. The man works 4 full-time jobs. He's got a radio show, a TV show, 2 TV shows, and he does his comedy still. He's got 4 full-time jobs.
Right.
He's 60 years old. And he says it in a TV segment, it's called Ask Steve on his show, Steve, the afternoon show, the talk show, where his kids came on the show for his birthday and everybody gave him like a special moment that they, whatever. So, but he said, I work 4 full-time jobs. I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for them. I'm doing it for my grandkids. You got to understand that this man is making more money than he's ever made in his entire life. His great-grandkids aren't going to have to work if they don't want to.
And still hustling at 60 years old.
And this woman has the most security. And now, mind you, the man that you're married, he's a depressed fuck. Those are the best guys to have because he loves the fuck out of you and doesn't want nothing else.
That's how I struggle with depression, you know.
But so do I.
That's how I am.
But my point being is that he loves this bitch.
Yeah.
He doesn't want nobody else.
Yep.
So your insecurities made you walk away from the rest of your life. Comfortability for the rest of your life. She has her own, and she can make her own, and she can do her own, and I understand women empowerment, and I get that. But when it comes to women wanting good men, she's got one. Or she had one. I'm talking about Sin.
See, before we go delve too far into this, in my opinion, I think this might be a publicity stunt because I've never seen Joe Budden still be so happy going through a breakup. He's terrible with that.
They don't need publicity though.
No, but I'm saying when he's doing his podcast and stuff like that, maybe
you think it's to gain numbers?
Maybe he's still happy. Well, there's talks of him doing another Love and Hip Hop deal with her. Okay, that brings a lot of traffic. Look, we're talking about it right now. There's plenty of other people, millions in the entire earth, that are talking about Sin and Joe.
Right.
You know, give or take. Hundreds of thousands anyhow. I think it might be to do numbers. Just like Jay-Z and Eminem retiring. And then they come back and their fucking album goes quadruple platinum.
Right.
Not anymore. But, you know, record selling days back when with the Eminem show, I'm retiring, comes back. Black Album, I'm retiring, comes back.
Right.
I think this might be a stunt. And I'm only saying that because if this is all true, either Joe Budden is putting on a real good mask for the public eye when he's doing podcasts that are live. I'm not talking about him recording like us in the comfort of Park's apartment and all that. I'm talking about when he's on stage, and if you don't see her on Love and Hip Hop, or maybe he declines the deal, he's got enough money, you know what, fuck that, I'm going to continue focusing on my podcast, and that's it.
Right.
If the breakup's true, we'll hear another Joe Budden album.
Oh, yeah.
There's no such thing as retirement.
He's going to need an outlet.
Yeah, there's no retirement at that point. The whole, from track 1 to track 16, track 1 to track 20, whatever he decides to put out, even if he puts out an EP, track 1 from 5 or track 1 to 7 is going to be all about the split up.
Right.
I mean, he went in when him and Tahiri were having problems. Exposing their fucking court systems together, the order of protections, that girl Esther Baxter killing her baby by sitting on her stomach, beating girls up, breaking their phone.
Yeah.
Ripping them out of the strip club by their hair, taking them into his house. Like, bro, there's gonna be songs.
But he's not doing any of that on this one, and I didn't put that piece of the puzzle together. He's not acting wild.
Right. That's what. But I study Joe Budden. I'm a weirdo. Call me what you want.
I know you're a super fan.
I love him, but I just feel like when he's talking or I listen to his music, I feel like I'm looking in a mirror. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm not alone. That's why I like Budden.
But that's cool.
And in my opinion, his mood musics, especially for I have the whole, it's up there somewhere in the other room, but I have a whole box set of all the mood musics. And in my opinion, they're better than the albums. That stuff he can't put on the radio. Right. Nobody's going to listen.
Right.
But yeah, I'm trying to think now, Joe Budden, I don't think he's good at acting. When he's hurt, he's got that deflection thing going. But I've never seen especially somebody who just had a child with, you could hear his music and know no matter how hard he acts, that there's a lot of love in him.
Of course.
And a lot of loyalty.
Yeah.
So I think that what's going on here might be I'm not saying it is, because I haven't fucking seen him in person in fucking 3 years.
Right.
I don't have the chance to go up to him, hey Joe, you and Sin really break up?
Right.
So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying it's a publicity stunt, but I think that it may be.
Right.
I'm half and half on this one. He's not acting wild. That's not like him. He didn't relapse on drugs. There's no way he's smoking dust right now. Yeah. There's no way. He's too focused. He's too locked in without being messy. Yeah.
But my whole thing behind the whole thing is, if it is a publicity stunt, they're going to make stupid money behind it.
I think it's a marketing plan.
If it's not a publicity stunt and it's real, I think Sin might be one of the dumbest women in this day and age.
Not dumb, ignorant. She's not educated in what she has. Doesn't make her stupid.
I didn't say she's stupid, but she's dumb. She's dumb.
Yeah, ignorant.
That's dumb. You're walking away from
a stable man with millions that works his ass off and comes home to you.
You're walking away from a man that even some straight guys would say, I'll take a guy like that for the stability.
Yeah. Live in his fucking house. You live in his fucking closet. Sell his shoes when he's at work.
You know what I mean? And my wife made a great point, is that they have so much money. If she felt alone and he had to be over here for work or over there for work, she could jump on a G5 and go fucking hang with him for a night.
Bro,
and go home the next day.
Well, here's the whole thing that interrupts that. I don't know how closely you follow. I don't follow their relationship. I follow Joe. I could care less about her. Mm-hmm. But
mind you, I only got my information out of your mouth off camera from last week's conversation.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So I don't know a ton of details I'm just throwing my 2 cents based on what I know from you. So if I don't have all the details, then I might look like a complete fucking idiot right now.
No, not at all.
And I'm alright to say that.
No, not at all. Because we didn't go through the whole thing. It was a 2-minute conversation. We didn't really touch on it. But at the same time, she has said that she does not want anybody else watching Lexington, which is their son. She doesn't trust anybody. She said she's heard too much.
Will she not travel with him?
See, how old is the kid now? A year? Maybe.
Why can't you put him on a plane?
I'm just saying, she was very...
Listen, Gabriella flew at a month old.
Yeah, she had trouble, though, letting her sister... There was an episode of Joe... I think it was fucking... What was the other one? Not Love and Hip Hop. There was another one. Was it Love and Hip Hop? I don't even fucking know. But there was one show that they were on together, and she wouldn't even let her fucking sisters hold the baby. Like, she was totally psychotic about it. Which I understand, protective as a new mother. But she wants... Her whole thing is she wants to stay at home with the baby, and she wants Joe home with the baby, with her, all the time. He's too busy for that. The money will stop if he does that. Now, granted...
Yeah, that you can't do.
If he banks every dollar, if he keeps throwing it in savings, IRAs, CD, whatever, savings bonds, whatever the fuck he's doing.
Right.
Buying investments, different properties, flipping them when he fixes them up and they're worth another $200,000.
Right.
You know, big houses out there, big property.
Yeah.
He could, with what he has now, I mean, he just made fucking $10 million in less than 2 years. And from what I heard, it was a lot more than that. He basically, after the whole podcast deal, Revolt, touring, I heard numbers-wise that, I don't know how true it is, I'm not in his bank account, but I heard that that's more of what he netted and not grossed.
Okay.
I heard with other deals such as Dr. Jen, couples therapy, the little bit of money he still had coming in from the VH1 contracts, Love and Hip Hop.
Right.
I heard that he grossed close to 20, but kept 10. Now, if you take in $10 million in 2 years, you can live the rest of your life comfortably.
Yeah.
However...
They live lavish.
Yeah. However, if his son...
And Sin needs to drip from head to toe. Sin wears $1 million outfits.
Oh, I know.
So that
not million, but yeah.
They wouldn't be able to live more than 5 years.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Not in the lifestyle that they live.
No, but I'm saying like 10 million. Somebody drops 10 mil cash right now in front of you. If you're fucking smart, you can live the rest of your life without problems.
Yeah. But we
house paid off.
But we don't live like them.
But that's what I was gonna. That's the point I was getting to. They could do it, right. But now she's gonna be bored with life.
Right.
That was my point. So either let the man work. I mean, he's already almost 40.
Yeah.
I think he's got me by 8 years, something like 9 years.
Yeah.
He's got a guy's almost 40. He got signed when he was 23. Yeah. He was on Clue Tips with Fab and Paul King back in the fucking 90s. Just to let you guys know out there, you're not a real Joe Budden fan if you think that it started with Pump It Up. He was on mixtapes.
He's crazy with Joe Budden.
He started on Clue Tapes back in the 90s. But anyway, I think like 98, 99. But anyway, he's been in the music industry now for a solid 20 years. Like we just said, his music career, aside from the very beginning when he was on like Def Jam Vendetta video games and, you know, Pump It Up was all over the NBA Finals, World Series, blah, blah, blah. He really didn't, and that's what he did then. He said that on an episode of, not his podcast, he said that in an interview, I should say. He blew through all that money.
It was gone.
His single went platinum. Yeah, it was only the single. It wasn't the album because 50 Cent that year, if you remember, 2003, torched the whole industry.
Right.
But
he was broke when he was 30.
Bro, when I saw him, and if he ever hears this is a true story. I saw him in 2009 at the Highline Ballroom in Manhattan, and he pulled up in like a 2003, probably when he first was selling albums, 2003, 2004 Escalade. I'm sorry, not Escalade. Erase that. Lincoln Navigator. And he climbed out of the back, right in front of the whole line that was waiting to see him.
Like the back hatch?
Yeah, back hatch. And all you saw was bags and bags, hefty bags of what looked like to be soft pillows, which I would assume is clothes. Then he comes out and flat out says, I was homeless. I was living in a car that I bought almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He was selling out the Highline Ballroom.
Yeah.
So now, he already went through those millions and blew them. Bought his family everything, his mom a house, this, that.
But he was also smoking dust.
Yeah, he was smoking wet. Yeah, but the whole thing is, though, that he blew through that already. See, this is where I'm saying with the age. I know there's women out there that are 20, I think she's 24 or 26. I don't know why I'm at those ages, but whatever. There's women out there that are her age, that are extremely mature up here. But then again, you got women like her, and I'm not saying she's not mature, but she might be immature in her own ways, like we all are. I'm immature in some ways, but I'm way mature than other people in others. But he already went through that. He was homeless. He had clubs in Manhattan lined up and then had to take his bread and go to a fucking hotel room to shower because he really didn't even have an apartment.
Right.
Okay, so...
Yeah, hold on. Before you go any further. I can actually step into those shoes. Okay? That's my situation now.
Right.
I'm going to be 36 in a month, and I got a 26-year-old wife. I have the same situation. Minus the money. However, just by the media, I feel that my wife is more mature here. Where if we stepped into their shoes, she's not fucking going anywhere. No, she's got an old man who's loyal and doesn't want anybody else, and she can live lavish for the rest of her life as long as she lets me go to fucking work.
Yeah. But that's what I was saying. Right. There's different types of 26-year-olds. And Sin wants that life but she wants to keep going with all of Joe's attention. It's not going to work like that. He needs to work. I mean, he goes into Manhattan every day. He crosses the water, goes over the Hudson River. He goes to Manhattan from Jersey. That's almost every day that man does that. Yeah. But like I was saying, he blew through those millions already and then ended up homeless. He doesn't want to do that again. He's 12 years, whatever, older than her. He knows he doesn't want to do that again. He just had a brand new baby. That's another thing. You know Joe's going to stay working. Mm-hmm. You know it. I don't know about her. He'll stay working.
Has to.
You know what that child support check's going to look like if they do split?
Stupid.
That bitch is good for the next 18 years.
6 figures. It's going to be monthly.
No.
Yeah.
Because no.
Yeah.
Diddy was paying only $30,000 a month. No. She'll probably get $10 a month.
But that's what his baby mother agreed to. Sin lives a different lifestyle. You know how many fucking celebrities go into court and because they're used to living a certain lifestyle,
they want to fucking with them.
No, fuck that. The judge agrees with them because they're used to the fucking lifestyle. So they say, okay, well, you're used to fucking living and spending $150,000 a month. We'll give you $90,000 a month in child support.
Yeah.
It's outrageous. But anyway, we're on this topic too long.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the bullshit that's going on in the news about abortion? It's a big topic.
That it's completely illegal in certain states like Mississippi and Alabama or Louisiana.
I just want your outlook on the whole situation.
I'm completely...
Because there's certain...
You want to actually ask me questions?
Huh?
You want to actually ask me questions, or you want me to say how? Or you want to keep this regular conversation?
Regular conversation.
Because you're curious on how I feel. All right.
I am.
Just making sure.
But I'm also going to interject because there's certain states that are crazy to me because I think it was Georgia. If you get an abortion in Georgia, if the child has a heartbeat, it's a felony charge of a federal status, not a state status, a federal status. And I want to say I saw something like 99 years. If the kid has
a doctor.
No, for the mother.
But a doctor's allowed to perform that in that state? I don't think so. I think it's totally illegal.
It could be. I'm just going based on what I saw from the female. How are these fucking guys in the government of whatever branch it is? I understand there's guys writing the laws and there's women giving the thumbs up for the law, but how do you tell a person what they can and can't do with their fucking body? Whether it was a bad idea, a one-night stand, a bad relationship, a fucking ectopic pregnancy, a rape, your brother fucking had sex with you, any of that. How do you tell a woman that has a fucking child, something growing in it, you have to have it? Roe versus Wade negated all of that in the 70s.
Well,
New York, it's cool.
Yeah.
New York, you can have an abortion up until the fucking second it's about to come out.
Yeah, and that's fucked up too.
No, I'm not saying it's not.
And that could ruin your feet, your fucking.
It could. You could not have it
forever. Yeah.
You could not be able to have a kid ever again the rest of your life. However, how do you take that choice away?
I am completely, with the exception of point 1, I'm completely against abortion.
Okay.
Because, and I know you said one night stand, whatever it is, you made that point, but I think if you're fucking stupid enough, and yeah, I said fucking stupid enough, let me tell you something, dude, I don't think I've used the condoms, not to be gross, but I knew who I was with. I didn't really fuck around ever since I was like 21,
right.
Like really sleep around like that. I don't think I've used the condoms since I've been 21. I've never had a fucking child, and I've had my sperm tested. I have perfect sperm. I've been with different women without a condom. I never fucking accidentally knocked out. By the way, ladies, my pull-out game is strong. It's true, though. But anyway, no, seriously. I think I'm completely against it. If you're fucking stupid enough to fuck, you want to get your nut off, and you impregnate the girl, I think that, hey, listen, you guys don't work out. It was a one-night stand. Hey, you know what? I hate to say it. Hey, lady, give birth to the baby and let it be adopted. Don't kill a fucking perfect life that's about to be fucking brought into the world. However, this is where the point 1 comes in, and I'm very adamant about this as well.
Okay.
Completely against abortions. But if you were fucking 12 years old when you first got your period and you were old enough to fucking conceive a child, and your brother, your sick fucking mentally ill brother was fucking 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and fucking raped you or forced you, whatever you want to call it, to have sex with him, and it was an incest situation where the girl actually did get pregnant,
right,
that baby should be able to be aborted, and the woman should be able to make that decision. Same thing with rape.
Okay.
You're telling me somebody... Now, this is where the point 1 comes in. Other than these 2 things, I'm completely against abortion. Even a mentally challenged kid you could give up for adoption. And some of those kids are the sweetest, best kids in the world. So I don't want to hear, oh, they got a mental disability, so kill it. Like it's an object. No, there's actually special caretakers with millions of dollars, just like we were talking about, that adopt those kids and take great care of them, give them the best life they could possibly have. Right. And since they're a little off, they don't realize that they're a little off, so life's good to them.
Right.
They're innocent, they're good, they're sweet.
Now, how do you feel with... before I answer this question, how old were you when you lost your virginity?
Oh, God. Do I have to answer this?
Yes.
I was 11.
Okay.
I was 11. I think when my balls first dropped, I banged this girl that was 2 years older than me in her mom's bed.
Okay.
So anyway.
I was 13.
And I put saran wrap on my dick, just to let you know. Swear to God.
I was 13.
Okay.
Okay. Now, 2 13-year-old kids have sex.
Right.
They don't know what they're doing.
Well, they do, but yes, I get what you said.
Listen, I don't give a fuck.
You mean that mentally...
At 13 years old...
You mean maturation by mental. I get you.
At 13 years old, you don't know what you're doing.
Okay.
Okay? Half the time, not all the time, but half the time, at 12, 13 years old, you haven't even figured jerking off out yet.
So you're talking about pull-out speed.
I said half the time.
Okay.
At 13 years old, if you go into a fucking middle school and you talk to 6th, 7th graders, okay, it's somewhere between 6th and 8th grade, and ask all of the young men, have you masturbated and finished yet? Over 50% are going to say no.
As far as actually
finishing.
Yeah, right.
So they don't know what that feels like yet, right? But you go and you wind up having sex. And you don't know what that feels like yet. So you don't know what that is, right? And you wind up finishing inside the girl that you're having sex with, and she gets pregnant. 13 years old, 14 years old, 15 years old. What do you do?
I'm not going to lie about that. That's... You
Me personally,
you put a good point into perspective.
If my daughter comes to me and she says, listen, this is the situation. First off, it's going to take me fucking 3 days to get murder off of my mind and calm down. Okay.
It ain't all his fault.
It's
You
not,
gotta
and that's
that.
why I said it's gonna take me time to calm down and be rational.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
But at 13 to maybe even 17 years old, because you got to think of the future of either one of both of the kids, right? I don't know where I stand with abortion. I really don't, because I was always against it. Always against it. Well, even in my own shit, like with my kids. Like, okay, like...
Right, you're pregnant, we're having it.
We got to figure this out.
Right.
Right?
You were also in your mid-20s, though, when you first...
I really shouldn't do this, but I got to do it.
Right.
I got to do it.
Right.
She's going to see it. I got to do it.
I don't know.
All right, listen. When I was 19 years old, I was in college. I went to Western Connecticut University in Danbury, Connecticut. The girl I met my freshman year, I was with for quite a while. She wound up getting pregnant, and I have a 15-year-old daughter out there. She's tattooed right on my arm. This isn't fake, okay? Her name's Christina Marie Langen-Anderson. I don't know what she believes her name to be, but on her original birth certificate, it's Christina Marie Langen-Anderson. She's 15 years old. She's going to be 16 on September 2nd. I know the details. I was there. I was 19 years old. Okay? Her mother was 23. All right?
I didn't know that's what you were going to say, but I know about that, dude.
Got to do it. Eventually, I got to get it out there.
That's fair.
Why not do it here?
We're talking about abortion, and you were young. That's fair.
So, but that was a conversation. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Right? That was a conversation. But it wasn't a conversation because of other details. I'm not going to get into those details right now. That could be for a later story. However, there were specific details that wasn't an option. Okay? I said, no. Like, we're going to have her. And she was cool with having her. Okay? Fast forward to 2 years old. Things didn't work out as planned in certain instances. Again, I'm going to get into those details. But things didn't work out as planned. Right? My daughter's grandmother... Now, Connecticut law is completely different than New York law. My kid's grandmother acted as my ex's attorney. You can't be an attorney or act as an attorney without a fucking...
Passing the bar exam.
But yeah, you gotta fucking pass the exams. So, some things happen in court. I get an 8-year stay away. A stay away means no communication, no emails, no phone calls, no
social media.
Nothing. No letters. No fucking visit to Dunkin' Donut. Nothing. If I made any contact whatsoever, I go to fucking jail. So, in that 8-year time frame, I think it was about 3 or 4 years in, she contacts me that she met somebody, they've been dating for some time, they want to get married, he wants to adopt my daughter. Now, I still have like 4.5, 5 years left of the stay away. By the time I could see her again, she's 10 years old. What do I do? So,
you gotta stay away from the daughter or from the mother?
From my daughter.
What?
Yeah, the courts were fucking fugazi. But we don't have enough time for me to get into that right now. That's why I'm saying I'm not going to give all the details right now.
Right.
But I wasn't able to see her until she was her 10th birthday. I haven't seen my fucking 15-year-old daughter since she's 2 years old.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, she's going to be 16 in September. Right? So, had we made that decision and we aborted her, you know, I can't see doing that and her not being there. Because I have pictures of her. I stalk certain social medias and everything like that, and I know what she looks like. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. But at the same time, I'm afraid to reach out to her, to be honest with you, because of my situation. Like, if I reach out to her and she wants to come stay with me and get to know me, what do I have to show her? What do I have to give her? Where do I have for her to stay? What do I do?
I'll reach out to her.
Bro, she's going to be 16 years old. What if she's on a really good path? What if she's doing well in school?
Yeah, that doesn't mean she can't visit you regardless.
But hold on, listen to me. Let me finish. What if she's doing really well in school, and everything like that, and this bomb is dropped on her? Because she doesn't fit in her family. She's going to be 16 years old. She's 5'10". Her father is 5'11". Her mother, well, I can't say mother. Her mother is 4'11". And her two other sisters, pale skin, fire red hair. She doesn't fit, the circle does not fit in the square. Right? Now, I can't say, hopefully she's got some brains and realizes she doesn't fit, because if that's all she knows, why would she think that?
Right, yeah.
But at almost 16 years old, if that bomb is dropped on her, who's to say she doesn't completely go off the rails and the rest of her life is fucked up because she got this kind of info? I could never live with myself.
So you're saying she doesn't know that you're the father?
I don't know what she knows. I haven't had any contact with her since she's 2 years old.
Yeah, that's rough. I would. Like, me, knowing myself personally,
yeah.
I wouldn't be able to not show that I'm the real father. 5
to 7 nights a week, I find myself writing, because I found her in, like, her social media. I find myself writing her massive paragraph.
And then deleting it.
And then not sending them.
Yeah. I've done that.
I don't want to ruin her life if it's going well. And judging by the photos, like family photos and everything, she's doing so well. What if she gets that information and I don't know what her mental is? I don't know anything about her.
That's up to you, bro.
I'm just saying, my wife tells me all the time, I think we're going to wait until she's 18 and then reach out, because then all the legal shit's gone. Like, she could make the decision to say, I'm going to walk away from my parents and get to know my real father.
You could do that, but I feel like the more time you let go past, the more it gets harder. But you know what? She's already 16. I mean, you want to wait till 18? I hate to say it like this, but what's the difference at this point?
Exactly. But there's so many ways to play devil's advocate.
Yeah, of course.
You could do this, but you could do this. You should do this, but you should do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had to share a real piece of me with you guys, because I want you guys to know, like, the real story. Like, I'm not sugarcoating nothing. I was a 19-year-old kid who had abortion on the table, and we decided against it. Now, my kid's mother, fast forward. I have my two children, Gabriella and Shay. Their mother and I find out her mother is cheating on me with Long Island. Okay? I kick her out. I keep Shay because she can't handle him. She keeps Gabriella as a pawn to stay 1 foot in, 1 foot out. All right? She comes to me and says, I'm pregnant. I said, how is that possible? Because at that point, we weren't sleeping together.
Right.
I said, and I mean, like, there was a time.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't like it was 2 days later. She was,
right,
you know,
yeah.
So she was like, there could be nobody else's. I was like, Lauren, we haven't slept together in months. Like, close to a year. Go talk to whoever it is you're, you know, like, so, but with her manipulating me, I was so mind fucked with this girl. Like, she had me manipulated that it really could be mine. I wasn't with that. I did not want another one with this girl, and she brought up abortion. So this would probably be the only time I would be with it, right? We go along with it, and at the end of it, after all said and done, with dealing with her crying in the bathroom, bleeding everywhere, messes and puking and all this for fucking 2.5 days, she tells me it wasn't even mine.
Yeah, well, you knew that.
But I dealt with the bullshit.
Yes, see, that's... I can't say that on here.
Huh?
No, I was going to say something, but it's kind of ignorant to say, so I'm
What's ignorant? Say it.
No, I was going to say, not everybody.
Yeah.
It goes the same for men, the way they handle their fucking shenanigans. But women like to do that shit. I hate to say it. They play around. They know, she knew at the time. Now you have a great wife who you love more than anything. But back then, she knew you were the man that loved her. And she knew, bro, you know how much shit I dealt with without kids, thank God.
Yeah.
But bro, they play their games.
Of course.
I mean, we do too, but not men that are built like us. You could ask any girl I've ever been with, as far as actually playing games with, like, you know, tugging on their heartstrings, and but there was another woman involved, and I'm trying to get them back, and console me now because that bitch was a bitch.
I don't do that.
I've never done that a day in my life. You could ask anybody that. You could ask your little cousin.
Yeah.
Your younger cousin.
Yeah.
I've never done that to anybody a day in my life. I don't play that game. If I'm with you, I'm with you. If I don't want to be with you, I ain't gonna go fuck some random bitch and then come back to you and be like, baby, fuck out of here.
Right.
That's my girl. Whoever I'm with at that moment is my girl, and that's my girl, and that's it. None of the fucking girls that think they're prettier on social media and this. I don't give a fuck, man. I got my life.
Right.
And that's where I'm at now. Like, this is actually a good conclusion because we were talking about Joe Budden and Sin.
Right.
When you have something like that, you don't go and play games to come back. Either you stay put and you tell your friends and family to fuck off, and this is what you're going to do. Either support it or not.
Right.
Get the fuck out of my face if you're not.
Right.
But, I hate to say this also, men have more of that tough, you're either going to accept me and her, or you're not going to accept any of us.
Right.
I've told my parents that about my last relationship, okay?
Yeah.
She never had the balls to do anything close to that.
Right.
And it's kind of a joke.
Right.
It's a joke. It makes you look like, what the fuck, man? Stick up for me, tell your family, fuck off. I'll come back when Sean can. I'll come back when Wally can.
Right.
Not I'm going to go fuck this guy, get knocked up by him, come to you as I'm bleeding out of my pussy, and excuse my language.
Yeah.
And
but you're not wrong.
Yeah, and then fucking, Wally, but you console me. Fuck out of here.
Right.
People like that are dirty.
Listen,
man.
I had a situation, and we can close with this. I had a situation.
I wanted to say one more thing about abortion when you're done.
Okay.
Unless you want to close with this.
No. We can close with that. I had a situation maybe about a month ago that somebody got into Angela's ear that I was sleeping with somebody over by me, and I kind of just laughed it off. Like, I was like, that's the most absurd thing in the world. I'm not like that. I've been cheated on so many times.
You won't do that to somebody else.
I would never do that to somebody else.
I'm with you.
I'm the type of person that even if I was attracted to this person to the point where I would say, I'm going to go through with it, I would call on the phone, even my wife, and say, kick rocks, I'm about to do this. Click.
Yeah. Get rid of the person you love so then you can go fuck.
At least you knew that I had enough respect for you to say, listen, it's over with. I'm about to do this other thing. Instead of doing this,
sneaking around,
and then you hearing about it behind everybody's back or behind my back or whatever, at least I had the respect enough for you to say, listen, shit ain't working out for me. I'm about to do this over here. Kick rocks.
Yeah.
And it would be that simple. But it wouldn't be that simple because I love the girl.
You can't do that.
I love the girl more than I could ever explain.
Yeah.
In so many different ways.
I am so happy my love has washed away, bro.
Hey. But that girl,
some real shit, man.
But that girl fucking abused you so bad and fucking and put you through the ringer so bad that I know how you love. I hope one day that you find somebody to love the way that I love Angela.
Yeah.
Because although she fucking sucks right now, I love that girl.
That's not always a bad thing.
You're an asshole. I love her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what? We should actually, next week, when we do this again, we should follow up from this point on because I'm not gonna say it now, but I got a good idea on what we just rolled on.
All right.
But what time? Yeah, we're coming up on 45 minutes. One thing I did want to say though, I didn't get to this before because we got into delved into the abortion thing and then the daughter thing and everything else. But one thing is before I was talking about like the whole incest thing.
Right.
I agree that should be an abortion.
Right.
Another thing I wanted to say was also, and I started saying it, but then we got on a different topic. Another thing I wanted to say was that it does it to you all the time. Me, it's 2
weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
I can't put.
But like another thing that I was gonna say is that like the rape thing. I'm sorry, I don't care what state you live in. You should be able to abort that child.
I agree.
If you get forcefully raped. And you remember, like a lot of girls that identify their rapist, let's just say, which has happened in the past a lot until like the early 2000s, they couldn't get collect enough DNA sample to get an accurate match on a fingerprint or a blood or whatever, a blood sample or whatever the fuck is going on. You know, not for nothing, most people identified their rape attacker, their rapist, by face on top of them as their forcefully getting fucked. That's fucked up. There's something wrong. By the way, I don't think that should be in movies. You could get to that point and then blanket cut and then get the point of what happened. Right. Instead of ripping a girl's pants down in the woods like Last House on the Left. I think I have to get up and I have to leave and then have somebody call me back in the room. Yeah. It's fucking disgusting. But anyway, that's worse than murdering somebody in my opinion. I don't know how you can get hard and do that. We'll get that on that next week also. Yeah, that's like, how do you get aroused by someone? I only get aroused when people want me. Right. If you don't want me, all right, fuck you too, bitch. I shot my shot. Right. Goodbye. Yeah, I got blocked. Yeah, I got blocked. That's it. So like, anyway though, like most people identify their attacker by looking up at them as they're forcefully stuffing their cock in your pussy. And half the time they're fucking covered up anyway. But if they're not, that's how they fucking... So you're telling me you should give birth to that child and love it, and then it grows up, and you remember that look? Right. You remember that look that was on top of you? The features, right. No. Now if you have a son, you might feel like your fucking son, as he gets older, bigger, stronger, taller, you're going to start... Even if you never admit it, agreed. You're going to look, and you're going to be like, that looks like that man that raped me. Look how big he is. What if my own son wanted to fuck me? Agreed. People think like that. Yeah. That rape thing fucks you up forever. Right. That's the worst thing you could ever do. I agree. I'd rather be fucking shot in my fucking stomach and survive than get fucked in my ass. Yeah. Listen. I mean, come on, man. I agree with that. And if anybody out there that does watch this maybe had been convicted once, or you know you're guilty of it and were never caught, you're a fucking foul pig. Yeah. And anybody that has anything they want to add to this, any questions you want to ask, any input you have, we'll take your 2 cents, we'll take your 5 cents, we'll take your 10 cents. Anything you guys want to add to this, please don't hesitate, because there's certain topics that can be touched on weekly, and they're, in the bio, in our descriptions, we can put information, to where if you were a victim, that, we could put help hotlines, we could give you information on how to, seek therapy or, anything. And I don't say that jokingly. If you were a victim of any kind of sex crime or anything like that and you need help, I'll try to put some information into the link and into the bio, so, you guys can do it, anonymously, so that you don't have to be out on Front Street that you were a victim. Because sex crimes are some of the worst crimes that a person can commit. Even in the prison systems, sex offenders are, the bottom of the barrel. Those are people that get stabbed. Yeah, if you're the bottom of the barrel, in the bottom of the barrel, you're a real piece of shit. We're gonna sign off for now. Leave a comment, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. And just continue to support. We're going to be doing this weekly, and hopefully this takes off, but we can't take off without your support, so signing off for now. I'm Wally, this is Dissconnectt, this is the Dissconnectt and the Wally Show. Bwah!